Aries, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do a reading for you for January 10th through the 20th. We're going to take a look at what you may not see coming, get some important advice from Spirit, and some energies around how to stay rooted and grounded during this time period where we're going to be particularly swimming through a lot of watery elements with the planetary alignments and the signs that the planets are in. So we're also shifting in our north and south node of the moon, starting a 18-month cycle, new journey for the collective, where we're leaning more into our intuition, our feelings and emotions, our spiritual journeys. And we're wrapping up the karmic cycle of the past 18 months that had more to do with how we want to lead our lives, and especially how we want to deal with any karmic patterning around our relational activity with others. So closing out a cycle, opening up a new one during this time period. We also have a Cancer full moon, which is going to be pretty big as far as what it inspires in us emotionally. So hence the Healing Waters deck for this time period and why I chose it. Ooh, thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Aries today. So let's get a few oracle messages for you. This is The Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, we have the Water Carrier. What really matters, reflect and reprioritize. Yeah, you could be really, I'm getting this whole Ace of Cups energy where it's about you opening up to the flow and where it's leading you next. Where whatever you've had in your holiday time period, whatever you've had to contend with, it's setting you on this path of prioritizing you, prioritizing what really matters in your life. Some of you, like, I want to get back, into taking better care of my body. Others of you, I want to deepen my connections. Some of you, it's, I want to put more effort into my career. Whatever that is, it's like you're getting the emotions that push you to do it this time period. And you're also reflecting on what you do need to reprioritize in your life. We have the Isle of Avalon and the Well Maidens. The Isle of Avalon is about healing, returning to wholeness, transformation. So you could be needing to rest, recuperate. Maybe the holiday season took a lot out of you, Aries. And also, Libra included here, because I'm on the South Node, brothers and sisters. I see you on the other side of the moon, and I know what it's been like. Okay, we just went through a long 18-month cycle, and in particular, even, we're not going to see this again in 18 years, this karmic cycle we've been on, Aries, you and I, okay? It's like, okay, I just need to sit back and just rest for a minute, gather myself, recollect myself, gather my thoughts. So I'm getting this overall, just rest. Recuperate. You're in recovery from a long karmic journey. And I think that it's what you've learned from this is that you're now better at reflecting upon what you need, prioritizing you moving forward, and also that there's a lot of kindness and respect and reverence and compassion that you're giving to yourself and others that maybe you didn't do for yourself and others a year and a half ago before you started really wrapping this up, these nodes of the moon up in your journey of how to live your life and how to deal with other people appropriately. I don't think that you maybe were necessarily focusing on your needs all the time. And I think that's what Spirit's saying. Well, now you know how it feels, right? To prioritize you. So I think you're reflecting on that, like the ways that you need to prioritize your self-care, your healing, and how you deserve to be treated with kindness and respect and compassion. There's something too that I feel like there's people coming towards you with that spirit and that notion in mind, Aries, in this new cycle, where you're going to be given more kindness and respect and compassion from the people around you. All right, let's go into the tarot. Let's go into the tarot. They say that, when we pass, we go through a period of convalescence where we can just rest and recover from our life's journey. I feel like you're kind of going through a pit stop right now where it's like, okay, whew, made it through that. All right, let me just take a minute, right? Honor the journey, bless it, and look to what's next with compassion and reverence for my life's journey. Yeah, and look at that. That's all about judgment. It's about renewal. It's rebirth. It's granting yourself permission to drop the old versions of you, the old ways of operating, and be less self-critical. I'm getting that. Be less self-critical. This also indicates you might have important decisions that you're making around renewal for you at this time, Aries, and Ace of Swords, and the clarity and truth and the steps you need to take to operate from a higher place. I was just talking about that heart coherence, and there it is, 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Wow. Aries, I swear there's something powerful happening in the collective. It's like a global spiritual awakening around leading from the heart, being sensitive to our emotions. You're practicing fierce compassion and self-love for yourself, and that's going to translate into all of your connections, which is your 10 of Cups energy. You're in a new beginning. You're in a new frequency where you're operating from a higher timeline. This is going to happen to everybody. It's almost like, especially the group that I read for, it's like you're going to come in week after week and go, you know what, I don't want to be on this. And people are like, yeah, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I mean, this is the Judgment, the Ace of Swords, the 10 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Like, there's no sugarcoating here. This is, you see the truth that life is about love. It's about love. And when you operate from the heart coherence and you operate from that sense of presence and reverence for life, compassion for all beings, we're talking about equanimity, all these beautiful Buddhist principles of light and love. Like, you can live it. You can live it. It's not something you can just dream about. Why not actualize it? Why not? It's like you're looking at like the eureka of emotional fulfillment, and you're at the very beginning of what you know you need. And see, when you realize I don't need to reach for that validation from anyone else, I can find it within me. You learn that lesson, you believe it with earnest sincerity, and then people around you want that too. And then you're like, oh my God, is this how it's supposed to be? So you're going through this beautiful cleansing and purification where you're healing body, mind, spirit, and you're getting off this karmic path of suffering that you've been on for a long ass time, right? I'm with you here. I've got my, Wizard of Oz. We got our arms linked, and it's like we survived it, but we don't have to now. It's not about survival anymore in the struggle. It's about clarity around long-term happiness and being so open-hearted in the world and navigating life through that resonance of the heart. I'm going to clarify Judgment now. This is beautiful. Why is the Judgment here? Surface energy, 10 of Pentacles and the Justice. Yeah, you're like, oh God. Wow. Karmic. This is, I think a lot of people who have been on the path, the shift in these nodes is deeply purifying around cleansing out old ancestral trauma, old childhood trauma, letting those waters just bathe you and purify your soul. And living a prosperous, abundant life where you are in more balance with yourself, your true self. Why is the Judgment here? Page of Wands. And then you just, like, there's playfulness underneath that. When your heart is open, you're playful. You've got a new love coming in, a lot of you. Knight of Cups. If not a frequency of romantic love, it's a frequency of just falling in love with new parts of caring for yourself, nurturing yourself, finding the joy in the little things. It's often the simplest things that we don't realize that make our life more meaningful. It's our routines, our habits, our thoughts, our behaviors, our beliefs, And I think you're going through this really beautiful purifying of that. I'm telling you, we're washing clean of these difficult karmic patterns at this time as a collective. And you all are really, really learning the lessons. And then you're grounding in your 3D reality in this abundant timeline where you, wow, we have the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Wands over the Judgment, with the Ace of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Aries. Fire signs are like really like you're letting, it's like you're hydrating your soul. The more you hydrate your soul, the more it feeds your fire spirit. And what do you hydrate your soul with? Truth, open-heartedness, compassion, unity. I don't know what to say about this. This is really blowing me away reading this time period. I just did Sag as well, and I apologize. I did them first. I felt like there's something about their energy that needed to go first, and I don't think you all mind. You're like, go ahead, Sag. It's okay. All 2024, we went first, and you've been leading the charge. Like, it's time for you to take a seat back and just rest. Let other people lead a little bit. And maybe that's what you're trying to do. It's like, I don't have to do everything for everyone all the time. Grounding, letting other people, receiving, Knight of Cups receives, being playful. This is a beautiful time of renewal for you, Aries. All I can say is you could have a earth sign coming barreling at you, twirling right to you. When two people collide, magic can be created. So I don't know who this is. A lot of you, this could be somebody you've already been dealing with, but you're in, but I don't know, with these aces, I would have to say that you have clarity around your heart and around maybe a future reality with someone in your life. It doesn't mean it has to be romantic. It could be somebody that you're like, this is someone I really want to work with, co-create with, support, talk to, nurture. This could be a new friendship. But it's beautiful. It's part of your rebirth. Let's get some advice from Spirit. Let's get some advice from Spirit for you for this time period. What's the advice, Spirit? Another freaking Ace of Swords. That's what you learned. See, it's like Aries went through fire in their North Node, and what's their secret weapon? That Libra sword of truth. You can smell bullshit from a mile away. I'm sorry I cussed. You can. You're like, I'm not going to be fooled again. I'm not going to fool myself either. It's like the fool who's gone around the bend on the karmic wheel, right? Through the major arcana. I feel like you're wrapping up this cycle beautifully. You're carrying a lot of truth now. And a lot of clarity about your life path moving forward. Allow yourself to be cleansed during this time. This full moon will be very cleansing for you. I would definitely recommend you be near water and water, beside water. Drink a ton of water during this time period too. You learned healthy boundaries. That's what it was all about. Difference between you and others. And also having clarity around protecting your energy. Your sacred self is important. Prioritizing self and walking away from any conflict or battles that are at hand. Your advice is you've been, maybe having to go through life with your sword out. Ready? Like, who's coming at me? Come on. Just come on. And I know Aries can be like, because you're headstrong, can be very stubborn, and it's a beautiful gift, but it's been tempered now. You're like, all right, I'm done having my sword out. I know how to protect myself, and it's not even like I don't need to front with it. It's like you can it's silent. It's like that silent surrender of I don't even need to fight with you, right? So whatever might push against you during this time period, you're like, I see it now. I see the truth. I know the truth. And I'm cutting through this. And I don't even need, it's like when you don't have to explain yourself, overly emphasize anything. You don't even need to say a word. Sometimes silence, I'm getting here that silence might be the best antidote here. And taking care of your needs. Ten of Pentacles. You're like, if it doesn't have a long-term, like grounded, practical stamp to it, if it doesn't make sense in my life, out. And I think that's what you've been doing. You've been cutting away at things that it was just a battle to have in your life. Whatever that is. It could have been a self-limiting belief. It could have been a person. It could have been, something you were doing in your work life that you're like, I don't want to operate this way anymore, where I'm taking on too much. I'm saying yes too much. I'm getting that you're learning how to say no and put yourself first. And that was your whole journey through this whole 18-month cycle. Now let's get what's going to help you ground the most during this time period. How can you best ground in these energies, these new energies of emotion, of water, of feeling, of honoring what you feel? We have the Three of Pentacles and the Moon and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Dare I say, Aries, you know how to ground yourself. It's like you know how to be patient with yourself. And this is about coming together. You've got some hidden opportunities around community, around coming together with others to go to the next level in your material world. I mean, this is also the card of committing and taking the lead and doing it with heart, with the Moon. You may not have all the answers, but you are going to take that high timeline where you now know how to cut through the BS and not entertain things that are just going to be a fight for you. So this is truly coming into alignment with the pathway of sharing your talents, your skills and abilities out into the world and creating a pathway of prosperity. I think this year is going to be about abundance. I mean, you have the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. So you're at the new beginning of what could be a new connection that could bring a lot of material success for you. It's almost like this person in love that you could be meeting at this time, that you're going to feel like, ooh, can I trust this? They could have a lot to do with nurturing parts of you that need support for you to take risks in your career. So this is gorgeous energy. So your best way of staying rooted and grounded here is to take this truth that you've learned and root it and ground it in your connections and in your dreams of like wealth. A lot of you are like, I just want to be comfortable and I want to feel like I have all my needs met, and you were reaching for it. So this is when you're like, you know what? I'm going to start pushing myself and getting out of my comfort zone. So the best way to ground yourself is to realize that whatever you reach for, you have everything that you need to support you in that. All the time, resources, and energy in this new cycle. Like you're not going to be, it's almost like if you had a struggle around your heart and around love and it preoccupied you, all the karmic lessons, it's like, okay, you've learned that and now you're graduating to a new class, and this class is going to be more about, I don't have to deal with the riffraff of that, and now it's all about my prosperity, my abundance, my groundedness in the world. It's like you don't have time for the BS when it comes to not getting equal reciprocity in your emotions with others. And the sooner you get off of that, the more energy you free up to actually build things in the world that are worth keeping. That's what I'm getting there. So that's your groundedness. That's what you've gained from this journey. All right. Now let's get into your self-care for this time period. Yeah. It's a card of reflection, which I'm not surprised while you're sitting in that bath, right? Cleansing here in the Isle of Avalon. This period of renewal. To experience peace does not mean that your life is always blissful. It means that you're capable of tapping into a blissful state of mind amidst the normal chaos of a hectic life. Yeah. Jill Bolts Taylor, what were some ways you experienced peace during the chaos? And that's the thing. It's like, I think that that's what you've reached for. You went through a lot of tumultuous frequencies and energies during this past cycle. And now it's time to reach for the peace. You know how to do that now. Whatever those practices are in your life this week, reach for the peace. I feel like what you really don't see coming is that you're in this period of renewal where you're reaching for a higher timeline of truth and of clarity around what you want to feel. And the steps that you're going to take to actually take that ace and marry it with a new beginning where you are being more playful with life and more grounded with yourself and less in the chaotic karmic tailspin, what I call, being in the wash, rinse, repeat cycle of not learning certain lessons. So Aries, congratulations. I feel like you should take this time period to chill, right? Relax, restore your energy, because it looks like you're going to be getting to work in the new year, okay? So rest now. Namaste. I'll see you soon.